The hydrogen economy bubble is bursting. 20% European hydrogen projects cancelled. The hydrogen economy relies on hydrogen as a means to store and transport energy from intermittent renewable sources. While the idea sounds promising in theory, it's proving to be economically unviable in practice. Investors are beginning to recognize this reality. According to industry analyst Westwood Insight, about 20% of planned green hydrogen projects in Europe have been cancelled. These projects, which were designed by using renewable energy to produce hydrogen, are now being abandoned, along with associated infrastructure like pipelines. Hydrogen projects also faltering in Australia and the US. This isn't just a European problem. In October 2024, one of Australia's largest energy companies withdrew from plans to build a renewable hydrogen plant. Almost the same time, Air Products, a major industrial gases company in the US, pulled out of a $4.5 billion green hydrogen project in Texas. Hydrogen company stocks are plummeting. The Financial Times reported that some of the biggest hydrogen companies in the US and Europe have seen their stock prices drop dramatically in 2024, with declines ranging from 30% to 50%. Let's take Fuelcell Energy for example, one of the most well-known hydrogen energy companies in the US. Back in the year 2000, its stock price hit an eye-popping $150,000 per share. Fast forward to today, it's limping along at just $10 a share. That's right, folks, a nosedive for the ages. Take a look at the stock chart. It's just like a roller coaster. Honestly, I can't help but wonder, are the investors who bought this stock back in 2000 still alive? Or did the sheer heartbreak send them straight to an early retirement financially and emotionally? The risks of storing hydrogen. At first glance, hydrogen seems like an ideal energy solution. It combines with oxygen to produce water and energy, with no pollution. However, the reality is far more complex and dangerous. Hydrogen is highly flammable and explosive when mixed with air. To store it safely, it must be kept under high pressure, a technically feasible but inconvenient and risky process. Hydrogen embrittlement, a costly challenge. A less obvious but more severe issue is hydrogen embrittlement. Hydrogen atoms are incredibly small, allowing them to seep into almost any material over time. This affects everything from storage tanks to pipelines and control circuits, driving up maintenance costs. Adding to the complexity, hydrogen fuel cells require rare earth metals, further increasing costs. Inefficient energy conversion, less than 40%. Perhaps the biggest obstacle is the abysmal energy efficiency. Optimistically, only about 40% of the energy used to produce hydrogen can be recovered when it's converted back to electricity. In reality, the efficiency is often much lower. The more complex and frequent the chemical processes, the greater the energy loss. Disappointing progress despite massive investments. The US, UK, and Europe have collectively invested billions in hydrogen initiatives, but the results are underwhelming. Europe, for instance, aims to have 120 gigawatts of installed capacity by 2030, yet only 0.2 gigawatts is operational today. The International Energy Agency corroborated these findings in its summer report. To meet 2030 targets, global green hydrogen production would need to increase by a staggering 200 times within just 6 years, which is a near impossible feat. A recent audit by the European Court of Auditors scrutinized the EU's hydrogen economy plans and found them deeply unrealistic. The report concluded that these initiatives are driven by political ambition rather than solid analysis. While hydrogen may still have niche applications, the vision of a global hydrogen economy as the backbone of renewable energy appears increasingly unsustainable. It's a sobering reminder that good intentions alone aren't enough to overcome the harsh realities of science, engineering, and economics.